Green flag set to fly coming out turn number 4. So we cut them loose. Good start, nice and even. Onto the throttle we go, and we're underway. Watch the 42 car, Hank Davis from the back of the field. Already got 1, 2, 3, almost 4 cars. Picked off with a hard charge around the outside. He's going to lay that baby into the cushion. I told you he's a shoe. Crossover move. Thought he was going to thread the ideal to be able to weasel down through. Now works to the inside. Picking up another spot. Maybe, maybe not. Out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Pickens up front shows the way. 1NZ car. Captain of the ship down the front straightaway. Working at number 2 spot comes teammate Thomas Mesrell. Those two actually teammates back in the pit area. Is Davis trying to get a little gravity onto the back straightaway. 3 wide for the number 3 spot. Davis deep down into the corner. Slide job. Clips the whiskers on the 71 car and has to cross him back down to the inside. Carrick was ready for it. Tanner looking pretty stellar himself with the Keith Coons Motorsports, number 71K. Keith Coons moving into a new shop. Looks absolutely gorgeous as Davis hops the cushion. Looks like that might be as far as he goes into the number 5 position when it's all said and done. As Carrick's starting to stretch his legs on him right now. Run down maybe the number 3 spot, which is the number 71 car, Jesse Colwell. Colwell working third. Team Ez in the 7X car second. That blue 7X car, and up front it's the Michael Pickens show. 1NZ continues to work a laps into the books as 2 sticks come out. 2 laps to go for Pickens. Little slicer into the cushion. Big old bowl shape out here. This is my first visit to this racetrack, and I can tell you right now I like it. This is slide job heaven. I can feel it. There's a white flag for Pickens. He'll take her around one more voyage of velocity here on the tiny 5th mile. Quarter mile, whatever this thing is. What is it, the quarter mile, 5th mile? I don't know. We'll figure it out as the night goes on. Regardless, checkered flags coming out. Heat race number 1. Pickens did his job. Started first, finished first. Team Ez from the number 4 spot to the number 2 spot with the 7X car. The 71 of Colwell will finish out third. He started 6th on the field. And then to 42 from the tail of the field, Hank Davis rounds out those top 4. Car. McCarthy sitting to the outside, the number 28. 2-8 drilling. Getting ready to cut her loose. Heat race number 2. 8 laps, looking for those passing points. Seavey already up top shelf in the number 67 car. We had a bit of stair-step formation down in turn number 1 and 2, trying to ramp the rim from back behind. A big move for Ace McCarthy. McCarthy just rockets his way into the number 1 spot. His mustache glistening in the sunlight as he rolls onto the front straight. I love his mustache. He's back behind, getting a little pushy to hang on. Bosey almost capsized the unit, caught the ridge down into turn number 1 and knocked her all the way back into the number last spot. Now working back up through the field. Meanwhile, slide job for P3 on the field. And here comes Seavey. Number 67 car from last has already picked off 5 cars and now will try to run down the top 2. McIntosh and McCarthy duking it out for that number 1 spot. Cannon McIntosh 08 working second on the field. Had a little slider, got to the inside. Ace McCarthy. McCarthy smacked him back down again. Was able to hang on to the number 1, slipping the grip out over the cushion down to Cossie. McIntosh capitalizes. 08 car goes into the number 1 spot for Cannon McIntosh. Back behind Ace McCarthy running second, and Seavey reeled in. Those top 2 cars coming from the tail of the field. Cross flags are out. 4 in the books, 4 to go. And McCarthy. Uh-oh. Little slip of the grip down turn number 2 brings out the caution flag as he coasts to a halt. And that was a miscalculation in navigation for Ace McCarthy, as he was all by his lonesome. S&M Auto Air Group, Auto Glass Unlimited. I don't know if Ken's with him or not. So we're underway. Down to the corner. Charge a little peeky-poo down the inside for the 97K, and Jesse Love gets into the number 2 spot. We had a little cluster coming out of the corner. Checked him up, and look at that. Here comes the Oklahoma Cowboy down the inside, trying to retaliate and regroup. As he'll help the hub down into turn number 1 and 2 with a little bit of company. So you got at least 2 cars picked off. Love, crossover move on Mail Poker. Out of turn number 4 and onto the front straightaway. Andy able to hold him off and hang on to P3. He's up front. It is Cannon McIntosh, the 08 car, looking absolutely incredible. As he sails it off the rim to the white flag. It'll take her around one more time. Seavey from the tail of the field into the number 2 spot, and that's as far as that's going to go. Not going to be able to run down McIntosh up front. Too stout in the 08 car. It's Cannon who rolled from the pole. He'll pick up the win in heat race number 2. Checkered flag comes out. Seavey from last to second. And the number 3 spot's going to go to the number 22 car. Malpoker actually started 5th on the field. He'll finish out in the number 3 spot for the number 22. We're down the inside. Grady Chandler to the number 85 car sitting to the outside. Chandler, former POWRi West champ back in 2017. And I believe graduated, if I'm not mistaken, this spring out of high school. Now he's got to come up with the real plan. Not a good start for him, I can tell you that. Got the nose pointed in proper direction, couldn't get to the throttle quick enough. Jerry Coons Jr. out to the race lead. Chandler trying to come back at that number 2 spot. Little company down the inside. Holland trying to hold him off. Holland grabs second, and look out, Chandler off the pace to the outside. Goes to the wall. Caution flag may come out. So he's trying to limp his way back into the pit area. He's looking down. He has lost fire on the number 85 car. Looks like he'll clear the racetrack. We're going to stay clean and green. And here comes Holland at a run at that number 1 spot. Jerry Coons Jr.'s got it. Holland wants it. She'll diamond off the corner and grab that gravity onto the back straightaway and rock it around the number 35 car. Or 25 car, rather. Jerry Coons Jr. pushing back into the number 2 spot with a beautiful move down here in the Sirius XM ride. Shows the way now for Holland. Again, comes out of that racing family. Good lineage. Moving into the midget category here this year. Back in the number 3 spot, the number 98 car, hustling for all he's worth, Tanner Thorson. Working the top shelf, and that is a tricky trail to tread. Coming out turn number 2, you get up against the wall, and you see the back end kind of walk out from underneath of him as it gets real slick where the sunshine has been beaten on the racetrack. A little more gription in the shadowy parts as those top 3 have broken away. Klossmeyer from the tail of the field into the number 4 spot, and he's starting to pull off big diamond maneuvers as well and run down to top 3 perhaps, but he's running out laps as twin sticks are out. 2 more laps around for Holland. I believe everybody's kind of found their way. Holland and Thorson both kind of sort of run the same line. That's hard to pull off. See a lot of tire spin whenever he come down across track. White flag comes out for Holland. 67K car for the number 3 spot to the number 1 spot. She's going to coast her down into turn number 3 and 4 for this final time. Checkered flag comes out, and that one goes into the books. The Sirius XM number 67K is going to victory lane in heat race number 3. Coons will finish out second on the field. Tanner Thorson 4th. And Tucker Klossmeyer from the tail in that number 8 spot will finish out 4th on the field. Did I say 4th? I said meant 3rd. It's been a while. I haven't announced a lot this year. I'm struggling. One of you. So we get set to go. Your final heat race for the midgets coming out turn number 4. Green flag, Trutzen down the inside. The teammates side by side on row number 1. The Dominator, Zach Dahm, crossover down to the inside. Trutzen shuffle back into the number 3 spot. Little company coming down low on that one. I believe that's Dason Pursley. Pursley with a big slider out across Dahm. Dahm comes right back at him. Dason back into the number 2 spot. Pursley wheeling a deal just ahead of Trutzen. Trutzen has to get it under the binders. That'll throw her back into the clutches. The car is coming from back behind. We're going to hustle into turn number 3 and 4 and another big slide up across the racetrack. Trutzen rather, trying to get back to the inside of the number 17 car, Voster Brown. Brown gallivanting about. That big diamond maneuver, the place to be down in the corners. We got a little contact. Trutzen tries to shrug it off, and she'll try to come back into the number 4 spot, and unfortunately he's bleeding off positions as now the 103 car gets on through. Brock Hannell able to race his way around. Trutzen trying to come back and pick up another spot. That is a tremendous tussle taking place for 4th, 5th, and 6th on the field. Meanwhile, down low on the racetrack, kind of catfish around the bottom, comes a pretty good charge out of Morton in the 8M car. He might be able to reel them in as they're occupied with each other up on the top side of the racetrack. So we got to slow it on the back chute, see if we can make her to the infield. So far, we are staying green, and he has not cleared the racing surface. Caution flags coming out for that one. I believe that's Daniel Adler. Down. Newen bumps on the throttle. He'll tighten up to those top 4. Currently scored 5th. You got to strike fast, strike hard. Here comes the green flag. We're back underway. Might be able to launch his way up in there. He's going to stick with the cushion all the way around, though, and try to get a run to the outside of Hannell, and the number 103 car not going to work to him. To no avail is what we will say as Dominator takes him across to the twin sticks. 2 more laps around. Dason Pursley in hot pursuit, trails by about 2 car lengths and gives up some more. Man, Dominator is quick coming out turn number 2. He has got the diamond maneuver figured out. He laid about 3 car lengths on Dason. All Pursley saw was him recede into the distance. Wow, he's working about a tick slower than everybody else back behind on the big diamond maneuver. Found himself a little traction for action. Here comes the checkered flag, and the Dominator's going to put that one into the books. Pursley will finish out second on the field. The number 17 car, Boston Brown's going to round out the top 3, and that'll do it for midget heat race action. We got some good cars sitting back in the field. As we get set to go, here we go. Green flag comes out. We're underway. Good start. Hanel just cannot get that thing to hop to. Saw that in the heat race earlier on, too, as he fell back through the field. Now he's trying to keep her gas and hang on to the number 4 spot down the back straightaway. The Hornet's Nest into the corner. 3 wide. And Sam Johnson's working through the meat. And number 72 car trying to claw his way up into one of the top 6 spots. Had a good drive coming out turn number 2. Now rides the binders down into the corner and follows the field down the back chute. Meanwhile, up front, here comes the running race lead. Out the top of turn number 4, just singing a merry tune, is Jesse Love in a 97K car. Foot to the mat, it's got some company coming behind. It's Ace McCarthy, the number 28 2.8 drilling rod. Hot on his heels, rides that top shelf and down off the gravity onto the front straightaway, almost into a 3-wide formation for the number 1 spot. Full scale attack. He'll roll out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Top 3 have broken away. The battle for the number 6 spots where it gets hot and heavy. He's looked out a little contact in P2 on the field. 19M car right there mixing it up as well. It's Ethan Mitchell working in that number 2 spot. And back behind, the battle for 6, tremendous. And from 7th into about, let's call it 5th on the field, with a big charge coming off the bottom out turn number 2 and then falls back a spot, is the number 7 car. Romping around there, Chance Morton coming from back. That nappy poo worked out for him. He had himself in a transfer spot as a caution flag comes out for a spinner down at turn number 4. So Morton had started 10th on the field. They're eating lunch. They're having a picnic. Me, I got to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Here we go. Back to the green, out of turn number 4, on the throttle and on the whip, down into the corner. It's going to be Jesse Love showing away. Top 6 to advance. That 6th position, Sam Johnson's right there, the number 72 car. He is out looking in as he'll pursue down into the corner. Morton up on the top shelf, the number 7M car. On the bump spot, got a little shot in the shorts coming out turn number 4, and both of them going to the bottom side of the racetrack. And Sam Johnson's now got a little company he's got to shrug off. And look out, Morton slipping the grip. Out across the racetrack, here comes Sam Johnson for the 6th and final transfer spot. Down on the inside, Morton holds him off, says, nay, nay, not today. And he's got a little company himself, Daniel Adler. And a number 50 car is starting to get her gassed up. Adler was out a little wide and almost had himself into a transfer. As now Johnson goes to the cushion top shelf. 6th is where you got to be, 6th or better. And Morton's got it. Johnson cannot figure out how to get around him. He's tried to the inside, he's tried to the outside. Now he's going to try a caution flag on for size. We have a slow one down the back straightaway. I don't think that was one of our ones up front when I was watching the transfer spots. So we got Love. Sam Johnson's out looking in. That's all I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, Johnson's the first one out looking in. He's got to get around Morton. And he's got to get around down the inside. Chance is going to be held out wide. Maybe not. Keeps the door shut on it. And able to hang on to it at least for now. So Sam Johnson, that highly visible orange number 72 car, goes again back to the top shelf. Chance Morton's trying to race him way off the bump. Johnson got around the outside. Picked his pocket right there on the front straightaway. Moves into that final transfer spot. Now Morton battles back out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Trying to hang on to the transfer. Meanwhile, a lot of racing taking place up front. Ace McCarthy showing him how it's done. It's all by his lonesome out under full sail down into turn number 1 and 2, putting a couple more laps into the books as I believe caution flag is going to come out for turn 4. Got a spinner. So Ace McCarthy, I'll see if I can get the car numbers for you here. I can't read them. I can backstretch a little dark. We're going racing just that quick. They got him turned off there. They're ready to go. A little stomping and romping set to take place. We'll figure it out. Meanwhile, Sam Johnson inherits the number 6 spot. Johnson slow on the throttle. Morton looking around the outside. Chance Morton had it for a while. He gave it up that last lap around, and now he's got to try to get it back from him with the 7M car. Meanwhile, down the inside, here comes the number 50 of Daniel Adler as well. Both of them working on Johnson. Johnson trying to hang on to it. He has got a ripper off the lip. Showing away. That's going to scatter him around. I'll throw somebody else back onto the bump. A little bit further back behind Johnson. My goodness gracious, he hauled the mail on the top shelf. He'll rocket his way around the outside. He has shown the line, and now the number 35 sits on the bump spot for Sterling Kling, the P3 Motorsports ride. He has got to get with the hustle. The caution flag is out. That was it. It's over. It's over, Jimmy. I didn't even see the white flag. I didn't see a checkered flag. I didn't see nothing. Holy smokes. Well, there you have it. So Chance Morton does make it in. First one out looking. Sterling Kling hangs on to the transfer spot. We're going to put that one into the books. That came out of nowhere. Late caution. Told you I was out of practice. Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet. When they come by, we want you to let them know how much you appreciate these guys being here. Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted the best, forget the rest. You got the cars and the driving stars of the POWRi Lucas Oil National Midget League.
We'll try her again. Here we go. Green flag comes out. We're underway. And a little shot in the shorts for 67 of Stevie as he races his way down through. Holland down on the inside, keeping him company. We got a ripper. That is T-Mez, Thomas Meserol, trying to blaze around here. Almost won this thing last year and had mechanical issues with his hot rod. Took him out of contention. He'll stay side by side. That 7X car working the number 3 spot. We'll race her down into the corner. Everybody going up across the racetrack. 4 wide onto the front straightaway. Hello, and how you doing? Pickett's down the inside. Caution flag comes out for 2 tangled up the tail of the field. Well, biscuits. Just as it was getting feisty in about the number 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th positions. And T-Mez is not happy with the number 71. Comes up there and gives a little bump in the rump to Jesse Colwell. And is letting. Here we go. Find out. Logan Seavey up front. Going to bring the field. Life goes way up high on the banking down turn number 3 and 4. Green flag comes out. We're back underway. Holly Holland. Good start for her. She hikes up at left front tire and kind of dangles that donut through turn number 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway. Big wheelie down the inside out of Pickett's. Pickett's pouring the coal to it. Goes into the number 4 spot. 1NZ car is going to drag along the number 71 and Jesse Colwell for the ride as well as Pickett's working off the bottom. Oh, this time's going to keep all 4 tires planted on terra firma. Big slide job down in the corner for Pickett's. Works it out across. Almost got the number 3 spot away from the number 7X car. T-Mez Meserol works on Holland for second. Can't quite make it happen. Big old drive job out across the racetrack. He'll do it again. Turn number 3 and 4. Way up high onto the banking. And Holland returns the favor down the inside. She is not intimidated by the 7X cars. We got them tangled up tail of the field again, or closer to the mid-pack, I should say, as we had a mid-pack mastication take place and got us stopped with the caution flag down turn number 3 and 4 yet again. So set to go. Sounds like 4 laps scored into books. So 26 laps remain as Logan Seavey will bring the field to life one more time. Again, way up high on the banking. Kicked it loose about the same spot. Somebody was ready for it, and that was Pickett's back behind. Dropped his nose out while I was trying to get a drive down the inside of Meserol. Couldn't quite make it happen. But Pickett's the highly fluorescent yellow number 1 Z car is going to the inside. Slide job on the teammate, Thomas Meserol. Meserol trying to come back at him. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Holly Holland went from 2nd to 4th and back to 2nd again in one fell swoop, and now gives up, well, 1-2 spots and almost 3 if Dominator can get around. Meanwhile, Meserol, another big slide job on Pickett's. Pickett's in hot pursuit's going to work it down the inside. He'll drive it out across the racetrack, across the nose. Meserol just turns him back to the inside and rockets back around. Meanwhile, down on the inside, Pickett's gets a little competition coming out of the number 5D is Zach Dom, the Dominator. Working hard down on the inside. Those two have faced off against each other now on 2 different continents. As we got a slow one down the infield, stopping on the front straightaway, caution flags coming out. Son of a gun. Stopped right here on the front chute. Bring out the caution flag and stack us up. And I believe it's Robert Dolby that stopped down here on the inside of the racetrack. Couldn't quite get through the moistness. Brownstown, Illinois is where we are. It looks like the green flag set to come out. We're back underway. Hornets Nest ensues down in turn number 1 and 2, and here comes Dominator down the inside. Zach Dom, the 5D car, goes to the number 3 spot. Pickett's back to 4th. We still got them side by side back in the field, and a big run down in there. It's a bad, fast little joint, and Meserol took a peeky poo at the race lead that time around. Seavey is able to hold him off. Former POWRi national champ. Leads him down into turn number 3 and 4. Meserol on the inside's got to crank the wheel on it, keep himself out of the side of the number 67. Couldn't quite make the clearance happen. Back behind, Carrick going side by side. Duking it down with the number 98 car as well. Tanner Thorson trying to work his way up through the field. Slide jobs ensue down in turn number 3 and 4. Carrick all the way up across, and caution flag comes out. We got a spinner down into the infield. Now stacks up again just as Dominator Zach Dom was trying to make a move. On to number 2 spot, Thomas Meserol. So set to go. Got a couple more scored in the books. See if we can finish it off on this one. 30 laps the total distance. We know that. Logan Seavey up front so far has not unrelinquished his number 1 spot. No one able to challenge on Seavey. Seavey way up high on the rim. Rails that baby onto the back straightaway. Down on the inside's got the number 2 spot. And here comes Pickens on the attack. Meserol around the outside. 3 wide. Look out, Meserol snaps it off the cushion. Oh my, he got a good look at the guardrail down here in the infield. Just powered out of it. He says, that's not a problem. I'll just keep it gassed up. Wow, what a drive job right there by Thomas Meserol. Hats off to him for the correction. As he hangs on to it, did knock him back a spot or 2. Zach Dom into the number 2 position. Holly Holland's back up into the mix. Or scratch that. That's Tanner Thorson, the 98 car, I believe. Working off the top shelf onto the front straightaway. Thorson finding some velocity, trying to run down Dom in the 5D car. And what will be a battle for the number 2 spot. As up front, Seavey continues to show the way. Pickens working 4th on the field, back behind 5th, 6th, and 7th side by side. Meserol trying to battle back from that earlier on. I believe he may have injured his race car. He now falls back into the clutches of Tanner Carrick. Carrick's slot job out across the racetrack. He'll pick off Meserol in a battle for position deeper back in the field as Pickens now under attack. Can't hold off the number 71 of Colwell. As Colwell's able to get around to 1NZ car, and Pickens now goes to the cushion down turn number 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway, trying to battle back and get a position back. As we got him tangled up, and look out down turn number 2, caution flag comes out. A little bit of contact and chaos takes place, and 2 of them stop down low on the racing surface. A little bit coming back here. Watch Seavey. Light pole, 3 car lengths. Needs to vary it. Tanner Thorson will pick up on it. Thorson sits in the number 2 spot. That time he waited a little bit longer. That worked out well for him. He's got a plan. Zach Dom and Colwell, the number 71 car, down to the inside of the racetrack. Meanwhile, back behind, here comes a run. Big charge down in turn number 3 and 4. Seavey holds him off. Couldn't quite get to him. The cross flags are out halfway through. 15 laps in the books, 15 to go. And Michael Pickens works her off the top shelf. Thought he was going to capsize the unit that last time down turn number 1 and 2 and onto the front chute, though. It's Logan Seavey up front in the number 67 car. Tanner Thorson running second. Dom, look out, Colwell got around him. Jesse Colwell came off the top shelf and clipped his whiskers going into turn number 1 and 2, and now he's got another charge down the inside. Dom drops back into the number 5 spot with a move down into the corner by the number 25 car of Jerry Coons Jr. down the inside. Catfish in the bottom for the wily veteran, and he's worked his way now into the number 4 spot, soon to be the number 3 spot. And Coons is bringing that bottom side in all by his lonesome, or was for a while, and now Zach Dom's going to follow him around. Up the hub, and a couple cars changing up the lane, trying to get down the inside. The tail has been told that top shelf maybe not the place to be, but nobody told Logan Seavey up front, who continues to work on extending his lead. He's got a straightaway advantage now over Tanner Thorson, who's going to have to try to hold off Colwell and Coons, who are coming around on the bottom. Off the tires and onto the back straightaway. Top shelf maybe in 3 and 4 still the place to be, but 1 and 2 it's definitely on the bottom. Much quicker down low. As Jerry Coons Jr. continues to work the pedals of the number 25 car, the Petrie Excavating, Petrie Motorsports ride. Now working on the number 3 spot. Slide job out across the racetrack. Couldn't get there in time. Colwell quick. Slipperier than a snake in a barrel of butter. Squeaked his way on through there in the number 71 car and hangs on to it. He's back behind. He got a couple of them blazing around. Michael Pickens up on the top shelf, hoisting up the front end on his run down to turn number 2. He's got a little company himself in the form of the number 71K of Tanner Carrick. Those two continue to work right against the guardrail. Turn number 1 and 2 and turn number 3 and 4. Meanwhile, your race leader into a little bit of heavy lap traffic. Logan Seavey trying to slicey dicey his way through there and get this one into the record books. Racing around. We got a slow one. Look out. Sam Johnson off the pace, pulls to a halt here on the front straightaway. They're watching him. So far, we're staying green on the racetrack. Down into the corner goes the number 67 car. He has put that thing on the lip and ripped it this entire time. I don't believe he's left that general vicinity. for the number 67 car. He does shorten up the corner coming out turn number 2 to get himself to the inside of lap traffic, but Logan Seavey is all by his lonesome getting around the racing surface. Race leader out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Lorson trailing by a straightaway. Runs second. Then you got Jesse Colwell and Jerry Coons Jr. battling for third on the field. Or third and fourth, I should say. The battle for fifth is between Michael Pickens, Tanner Carrick, and another ride working the bottom side of the racetrack. And I believe, that's a 19M car if I'm not mistaken. Ethan Mitchell able to race his way up through working the bottom of the racetrack. Seavey voyages on around. The twin sticks are out. Just 2 laps to go. Be white flag the next time out. Turn number 4 for the number 67 car, who just put a whooping on him tonight. There it is. White flag comes out. Seavey passes us by. Take her into turn number 1 and 2, and one more rip off the cushion and down the back straightaway. Blazer into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flags coming out. Logan Seavey's going to pick up the win on night number 1 of the POWRi Lucas Oil National Midget League Illinois Speedway. Second going to go to Tanner Thorson in the 98 car, and rounding out the top 3 going to be the number 71 of Jesse Colwell. Just that quick, we got our feature event for the midgets into the books. Micro feature coming out next. A lot of good feature racing action yet to come. Don't tune out, race fans. Stick with us here on Speed Shift TV. You might as well watch it all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear you. Logan Seavey climbing out of that race car. Give it up for Logan Seavey. Driving the Sirius XM, Harley Holland Company's JBL. Speedway Toyota Bullet by Spike 67. And now we'll send it down to Haley Shanley.
Logan Seavey picking up right where you left off, coming off of another win from your last round. Congratulations on this one. You know, Fayette County Speedway is one of your favorites. What is it about this place for you? You've done exceptionally well once again.
Yeah, it's just a technical racetrack. You know, it's up on the fence, and then off two you got to decide if you want to rip it around or if you kind of want to turn down. And then we're just banging the fence down here off 4, and especially on exit, it's tricky. It's a big curb, and then you're trying not to fall at the racetrack too. So, it's just my kind of style. Really technical racetrack where there's a big cushion and a little bottom to race with, and I just get nervous with all those restarts. I knew once I got this thing going around the top, we'd be all right, but the restarts are just really tough.
And now we were chatting earlier. You said you were really focusing in on those first few laps. Were they as critical as you thought they were going to be?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just run hard early and try to from them guys. And like I said, those restarts made it tough. We had to keep going hard, and on restarts, it's normally you're able to maybe sneak the bottom by somebody when you're close, and that just makes you really vulnerable when you're on the top like that in 1 and 2. So luckily it worked out. We got some pressure there for sure, but we were able to hold them off. And Connor had this thing really good all night. Like always, obviously we won 5 races here already this year, so that's pretty incredible, and we'll just try to keep going more this week.
And who do you want to thank for this one?
Everybody at KCAM that worked so hard. We just came off of Indiana Midget Week with 5 nights, and then we got to come back here a couple of days later and do it again. So just a long few weeks for these guys. Everybody at TRD and Mobile One that believes in me, everybody at Keith Coons Motorsports that keeps these things together and keeps them going fast. It's just a pleasure to drive.
Congratulations. Let's give it up for your main event winner, Logan Seavey. Tanner, we were talking earlier. You said coming back to midget racing competition, you were a little nervous coming back from injury. That does not seem to have hindered you. You were one of our hard chargers tonight. How did you manage to fight all the way up to second place?
Just this awesome team gave me another great car once again. I was a little unsure at first when I first got back in the car how it was going to go, but now second's not good enough. So hats off to Logan. They ran a good race there, didn't mess up at all, and had a good car. So thank the crowd for coming out. You guys are what keep us going down the road. So thank you guys for coming out, and hopefully see you over at Jacksonville.
Congratulations, Tanner Thorson. Let's give it up for your second place finisher. Joining me is your P3 finisher, Jesse Colwell. Congratulations on this commendable third place finish. I want to hear from you all about that pressure that you and Jerry Coons Jr. were putting on each other the last half of that race.
Yeah, it was getting a little wild there. There was a few times there I didn't know if he was going to leave me the lane that I was running or if he was just going to try and slide me. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
Congratulations, and who do you want to thank for this one?
Yeah, I want to thank Pete, Keith, Al, Ronnie, Jared, just everyone that helps.
Let's give it up for Jesse Caldwell, your third place finisher. Guys.